Welcome to Building Assets in Youth, where in just 10 minutes or less, we equip and inspire adults who impact youth. You will gain simple tools to help youth in your sphere of influence build assets. Assets allowing them to thrive when they can and struggle well when they need to. This series is brought to you by Discover You, providing tools to build courage, confidence, and connection in youth for over 20 years. I'm your host, Beverly Wenzel, and I'm here to have some fun with you as we explore a foundational concept in asset building known as growth mindset. In our time together, you will discover the importance of possessing and developing a growth mindset, as well as gaining a powerful tool to help youth develop their worldview and their growth mindset. What is a growth mindset? Well, it's a mindset, it's a worldview that believes you can always change, that you have a passion for learning and growing, that you look at process as being an important part of the journey. You value effort. You're not afraid to work hard. A growth mindset thrives when there's challenges in front of it. It views failure as an opportunity to grow, and a growth mindset is very willing to take risks. But what's a fixed mindset, the opposite of that? Well, it's more of a deficit-based mindset. It's a belief that our qualities are carved in stone, that our intelligence is static, and we have to look smart all the time. We try to avoid challenges. We give up easy when there's obstacles. We see effort as hard work and not necessary, and we ignore constructive feedback. We look at the world as being what we are now and don't think we can really grow. So who we are in this moment is defining us when we have a fixed mindset. So comparing the difference between a growth and a fixed mindset, let's think of a few things. One is with a growth mindset, the higher the challenge, the higher the interest. Whereas a fixed mindset, the greater the challenge, the less interested that they are. If you have a growth mindset, you're going to strive for more. A fixed mindset, not so much. It limits the possibilities and the risks that you're willing to take. A growth mindset, they're willing to work hard. But a fixed mindset puts in less effort because they believe they shouldn't have to work hard. They are already who they're going to be. And in a growth mindset, they really see failure as the beginning, whereas a fixed mindset tends to see failure as the end. So let's think about changing our outcomes by intervening at our thought level and approaching this mindset issue. So you think about things, we go through a process and almost subconscious every time something happens. And to better understand how we can improve our outcomes, let's think more about that process. So inside this process, first we have a circumstance. Something happens. The next thing that happens is that our thoughts step in and our mindset kicks in about what happened. This is the opportunity where either fixed or growth mindset will play out. Then we take an action based on our mindset or our belief. And because of that action, we have real outcomes or consequences that result from those actions. Upon those outcomes and consequences, we then determine or reinforce our self-perception of how we see our abilities and who we are. So, picture yourself on a path. Something happens, that's your circumstances, and it brings you to a fork in the path. The path to the right, should you choose it, is a growth mindset path. The path to the left is a fixed mindset path. Along each of the paths lie opportunities, it's labeled thought. The next one is labeled action, and then destination. So let's think about a student who's facing a math test and the different outcomes with a fixed or a growth mindset. To provide just a little bit of context to why I chose math, in the United States, math scores continue to drop, and we are currently ranked 26th in the world. And that is behind both large and small, highly industrialized and not so much countries. And that's even though the U.S. spends double per student on education versus all these other countries, and that is equalizing all the factors. Do we need more money, or do we need a different mindset? So back to the path. Let's think about changing those math scores based on the path that we take. The circumstance, bringing our young friend to the fork in the road, is a pending math test. Now our friend must choose the path to the right, which is a growth mindset path, or the path to the left, which is a fixed mindset. So let's start first. Friend chooses the fixed mindset path, and he comes to thoughts. What is this young person thinking? They're thinking, I'm not good at math. I'm going to fail anyways. The teacher doesn't like me. I'll just look stupid. So then they take action. So they believe those thoughts, those fixed mindset thoughts. What actions are they going to take? Why should I study anyways? I'm just going to fail. The teacher won't help me. I'm just going to act like it doesn't matter. I don't care. I become indifferent. Upon taking those actions, they get to their destination or their outcome where they failed the test, and that validates everything. They now have the self-perception that they were right, they're not good at math, and it isn't worth the effort. So flip that. Let's take that young person down the growth mindset path where they come to thoughts. And with a growth mindset, they think, well, I may not be good at math yet, but I can learn. It's okay if I don't get it all right this time. I can keep trying. I'll do better next time. So with those thoughts, they move into action. I will study and I'll get better. I'll ask the teacher for help. Then they arrive at their destination or their outcome, and they've experienced growth in math, which validates they can learn and do things. Now, I didn't say they got 100% right on their test. I'm saying they experienced growth and validation. And now they have the self-perception that they can learn and grow, and that investing time and effort pays off. What a significant difference depending on the mindset that those young people take and the outcomes that follow. So follow the same process with a social example, making friends. Better than half of the youth in our country feel lonely or disconnected. So here's a young friend with a fixed mindset that no one likes me, I'm not likable, something's wrong with me, I will never have friends. Their actions that follow lead them to not speak to others, not to take any kind of risk at being rejected. They don't attend parties, and they don't go to after-school activities. Ultimately, the outcome is continued loneliness and isolation, and their self-perception of not being likable is reinforced because they don't meet people, again, due to the actions that they took based on the mindset that they had. Now, should our young friend choose the growth mindset path in search of friends, they might think to themselves, I don't have any friends yet, but I can make some. I'm likable. The actions that they take a risk of speaking to other people. They join clubs. They reach out. They continue forward. When one tactic doesn't work, they try new tactics. Ultimately, their outcome is in developing friendships through all the connections that they took and the risks and the clubs and the challenges that they faced. And their self-perception is now that they are likable and that they're moving in the right direction of making friends, and they will be successful. Our author R.S. Gray, in their book Scoring Wilder, made a comment that I think is so impactful. And the quote says, she believed she could, so she did. Here's your building asset challenge. Find an opportunity to guide a young person down the two mindset paths and allow them to see the different outcomes that their mindsets lead to. In our time together, you discovered how different outcomes can be based on the mindset that we choose, and how to rethink them and transfer this skill to young people. See you again as we continue to build assets in youth.